We almost like we got into a time machine and we popped out in the future 3 years from now. We walked around describing our company. What would it look like? How would our team be interacting? How would the marketing be working?
Without further ado, we are going to transition to my personal coach in business, the person I turn to for all of our biggest decisions in business, and the person that is my top mentor for every decision that I make. Cameron Herold. I know a lot of you know him because I talk about him every week, but Cameron is the former chief operating officer of 1-800-GOT-JUNK, scaled their company from $2 to over $100 million in revenue in under 6 years, and did it through the process of reverse engineering. And there's two specific things, Cameron, that we want to hit on today. The first thing is obviously a reminder of the importance of vivid vision. And then secondly, the process of reverse engineering your 2022. And the reason why I felt the urge to bring you back on our show at this specific time is because I keep bringing up vivid vision, and the majority of our clients in our coaching program, they don't feel the urgency behind it. It's not like a get rich quick thing. It's like vivid vision. What? So what I would like you to do is build urgency around why we need a vision entering 2022. And then also, how do we roll it out properly to our teams?
Sure. Yeah, lots there to unpack. And hey, Bill, thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Hi, everybody. Someone asked where I am. I'm actually in Barbados. So on the vivid vision concept, first off, the vivid vision, again, is that 4 or 5 page written description that describes every single aspect of your business 3 years from now, as if it's already come true. So it's almost as if you leaned out into the future to December 31st, 2024, right? If we leaned out 3 years from now, and we almost like we got into a time machine and we popped out in the future 3 years from now, we walked around describing our company, what would it look like? How would our team be interacting? How would the marketing be working? What would our leadership team meetings be like? What would our dashboards be like? What would our tax strategies and planning be like? Without knowing how we're making it come true, we describe our business in that future state. So the idea with the vivid vision becomes a 4 or 5 page description of your company, and then your team gets to figure out how to make every sentence come true. So much like building a dream home. And Bill, is the waves loud, or can you hear me clearly?
That's awesome, by the way. No, we can't hear them, unfortunately.
It's pretty awesome. So the way that the vivid vision comes true is every sentence is a finish state, and you figure out 1 or 2 projects to make every sentence come true. And then much like building a dream home, you build the foundation, and then you put up the walls, and then you put in the electrical and the plumbing. And every entrepreneur wants to put in the Wolf stove and the Sub-Zero fridge and the beautiful cabinets, but you don't do that day one. You have to put in the foundation first. And in our businesses, we always want to do the cool stuff, but those are often the big shiny objects, the distracting things that aren't the foundational things. So the way that you start reverse engineering your vivid vision is actually by thinking about the corners of your business. So I think about every business like a jigsaw puzzle. And for me, the way that I visualize it, and I'll show everyone a screen, hopefully many of you are watching and can see this. Bill, can you see the image of the jigsaw puzzle?
Yes.
So for me, the foundation of my house, or the foundation of my business, are the 4 corners of my jigsaw puzzle. So having a vivid vision, 4 or 5 pages, properly written, getting a copywriter like a Jennifer Houday to make it pop off the page, getting a graphic designer to really make it look and feel like your brand. That's a corner of your business. You need that to scale. The next corner of your business are your core purpose. It's why do you exist, right? What's the one driving, aligning core purpose for your business? For me, it's helping entrepreneurs make their dreams happen. So when Bill asked me to be on this show, I said yes, because it's not only helping a client, it's also helping a whole bunch of his other clients that are entrepreneurs. If Bill, by the way, was a government contractor and everyone on this show were government people, I would have said no, because I'm only helping Bill. If Bill just happened to work with a bunch of doctors, I would have said no, because they're not entrepreneurs. But everything aligns. My podcast, my Invest in Your Leaders course, my books, everything's aligned with my core purpose, and that needs to be in your business as well. The next one is your BHAG, right? What's that big, hairy, audacious goal that you're driving towards? For me, That's replacing vision statements with vivid visions worldwide. If we do that, we've changed businesses forever. We've changed the employees. We've changed company cultures. We've made employees happier. We've made entrepreneurs richer. Everything's aligned with that vivid vision. And then the fourth corner of my business and of your business is your core values. It's making sure that you have very strong core values throughout your organization, making sure that you only have 4 or 5 core values, that they're easy to understand phrases. They're not single words so that people can understand them. A really good test, by the way, of your company's core values is, can you recite your core values right now? Can your employees all recite most of us say we have core values and we can't even recite them, which means they're not core values. They're just words that we thought through that we don't actually really live yet. So it's thinking through that and making sure that you live them, that you hire people that are based on them, that you fire people because of them, that you reinforce them, you thank people for living them, you call out your customers who aren't on them and you fire customers because they're not living your core values. It's making sure that they're deeply foundational in your business. So when you're living those 4 things first, that's the foundation of your business. For me, then I go into the 4 sides of building out the business or the vivid vision. The first side is all of your people systems, right? Jim Collins said, first who, then what? But it's making sure we have the right people on the bus. So that's the recruiting systems, the interviewing systems, the hiring systems, the onboarding systems, the training, the leadership development, like my course, Invest in Your Leaders. It's the offboarding, the getting rid of the wrong people. Everything related to people are the first sides of your puzzle you need to put in place. And then I go into the strategic thinking side of the business. And there's no such thing, by the way, as strategic planning. There's strategic thinking, and then there's business planning. They're very different. Strategic thinking is thinking about your business, getting coaching, getting mentoring, thinking about what ifs, thinking about opportunities. That call we were just on with the accountant or lawyer, that has nothing to do with planning. That's strategy. It's thinking about stuff. The plans come later, right? You're like, oh, wow, Cameron's living in Barbados. This is by design. Actually, not living in Barbados. I'm living globally. My house is my backpack. My home is when my kids FaceTime me. So we're building a life by design. I'm figuring out how do you reverse engineer each of those parts. And strategy is that side of the puzzle. And then it's your meeting rhythms, your annual meeting, your quarterly meetings, your financial review meeting, your one-on-one coaching meetings with each of your team. It's your daily huddles. It's those kind of aspects of your meeting rhythms that you have tightly intertwined. It's why I wrote my second book called Meetings Suck, is so that people could actually understand how to run meetings, how to operate meetings. 30% of that book is how to run them. 30% of Meetings Suck is how to attend them and participate as an attendee or an employee. And 30% of the book is what meetings you need to scale any business and how to actually scale it. And by the way, I know the law space. I coached William Matar. I coached George Sink. I coached John Barry. I coached Seth Bader. I coached Jason Hennessy from Hennessy Digital. I coached Bill Hauser. Like I used to coach Arnie Malum from CJ Advertising. I've been around your industry for a long time, and it's very similar to every other business. And then the last side of your business are your financial systems, right? It's really having good financial systems in place. And typically I don't touch that stuff. That's what you can actually get an accountant or a good CPA to actually work with you on. So for me, the vivid vision is where you start, and then figuring out how do I make each sentence of the vivid vision come true and which ones do I put in place when. It's kind of layering off each other. So that's the thought process, Bill.
So we talk a lot about reverse engineering, which was, a terminology that I had been using prior to meeting you. And then I saw you had actually created the whole science of reverse engineering. And I didn't even know it was really like a thing that could be scienced. But once we have a vision in place, I noticed that a lot of business owners are almost like they're reserved in going public with that vision. They feel like maybe there's going to be feelings of guilt with their team. Maybe there's going to be feelings of, well, the way we ran the firm before is now going to it's going to be uncomfortable, right? I used to let things slide. Now I want to create a performance-based culture. So rolling out the vision and getting emotional connection to it, what is the best way to do that with a team of people?
It's first off to remind your leadership team, roll it out to the leadership team first, right? So your core leadership team understands that they're bought in and they don't think you're crazy. And then you roll it out to all of your current employees so that they see it, they're bought in, they don't think you're crazy. And then it's firing anybody who doesn't like what they see, because that's where we're going. That's what it looks like. Get rid of those negative, grumpy, toxic people right away. so that the 85, 95% of people that are left are bought in and excited about where you're going. Then you roll it out to your customers. Then you roll it out to your suppliers, your accountant, your lawyer, your bankers, so everybody can see the future. And you remind them, we're not crazy. This is what it looks like in 3 years, not what it looks like today. Some parts of it won't happen until the third year. Some parts of it won't happen until the second year. Heck, some parts won't happen until Q4 or Q3 or Q2, but that is what we're going to be building. That is what it looks like. And it's going to emerge much like building a home will happen as well.
So once we are clear on our vision, I remember you showed me this Excel document when at 1-800-GOT-JUNK, where you basically pre-planned not only revenue sources, but then you also planned like investments that need to be made. And it's like that Excel spreadsheet document, you know what I'm talking about. Yep. And I'd like for you maybe to explain the realities of going out 3 years and then pre-calculating what revenues you're going to do, and then also pre-calculating expenses. And then also, what are the realities with that? Like, is any number you've ever planned actually hit? Or is it just kind of to show us where we're going?
I'll show it to you. So can you see the spreadsheet?
Yep.
So we sat down with the leadership team in 2004, I think it was. I'll tell you because it's based on revenue. Yeah. So in 2004, I sat the leadership team down and we'd done 38 million in revenue that year. I started as COO here, and I grew them to 38 million, from 2 million to 38 million in the first 4 years. And then we wanted to figure out what our plan was for the next 3 years. So we kind of we decided what our goal was going to be, and then we started reverse engineering it. We made the $100 million target goal when Brian and I were doing 2 million. We sat down in October of 2000, right when I started, and we said 5 years later, we'd do 100 million in revenue. We actually ended up doing 106 million we did it at 4 million right around here. And 5 years out, we said we'd do 100. We ended up doing 106. When we started doing this budgeting and planning process, we wanted to visualize what our company would look like over the next few years. So we started to think about all these different areas of the business. You know, how many franchise partners would we have? How many were in North America? How many were international? How many corporate locations would we have? What kind of renewals were we getting from our franchisees after the 5-year period? How many trucks were we going to have on the road? What territories were we operating? So we started thinking about all these different quantitative parts of our business and visualizing and thinking about and breaking it down based on the past and based on where we were going. So we thought about 78 different areas of the business. You can see them all here. And we tried to plan them in. What was amazing about this model when we started to think about all different areas of the business is it gave every business area some areas to dig into and think about and try. And it gave us some predictability and some, we could see it clearer, right? We thought about floor space at one point. We actually knew how many employees we were going to have. And I said to Brian, we're going to be running out of space in 6 months. He goes, you're crazy. I said, no, we're hiring 27 more people over the next 6 months. Here's the titles. Here's when they're starting. And he goes, well, where are they going to sit? I said, I thought of that. And we walked around the office together with a notepad, and I started showing him where each of the numbered bodies would be sitting. And we had 3 left. And he goes, we don't have room. And I said, no, we got this double-sided closet right by the bathrooms. We're taking off the doors. We're going to put 2 white fold-up tables there. And we ended up with Jeff, Adrian, and Christopher all worked out of that. When we moved out of that office, we said those 3 came out of the closet, which back in those days, you could say jokes like that. Nowadays, it's not PC. But we had so much predictability around every aspect of our business because we had a plan. We briefed on the plan. We then executed the plan, and then we kind of debriefed on the plan, right? Plan, brief, execute, debrief. But we reverse engineered every aspect of it. And sure, some parts of it weren't exactly accurate, right? If you go back to that plan, we thought we'd be at 119 million 2 years later. Well, we were only at 106 million. But I'll tell you, to think about going from 38 million, where are we here? 38 million in revenue. Where is my revenue number here? System-wide revenue, 38 million is when we were doing the planning, to 119, and we ended up at 106. That's a lot of thinking that had to happen to make that happen. You know, we doubled the size, 2.5 times the size of the company in 2 years. And we were profitable, and we gave up no equity, and we ranked as the #2 company in all of Canada to work for. So it's very hard to do 6 consecutive years of 100% revenue growth, but it's by having that vision and then reverse engineering that vision